Here, and then I'll call the order shortly.
Cool.
We good? All right, I call the November 3rd city council meeting to order. Please join me for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. And now let's do a roll call. Councilmember Meyer.
Here.
Councilmember Whitman.
Here.
Councilmember Ling.
Here.
Councilmember Reeds.
Here.
And Councilmember Matz.
Here.
All right, all council members are present. Also present is City Administrator Jessica Stanton. Item 3, approval of agenda. Any additions or corrections? Okay, just need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the agenda. I'll second it.
Motion by Councilmember Matz, second by Councilmember Ling to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay. Citizens addressing the council. Is there anyone that would like to address the council that's not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move on. So next is the consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda consists of approval of the bills, approval of October 6, 2025 city council meeting minutes, approval of October 20th, 2025 city council special workshop meeting minutes, approval of Pheasant Fairburg gambling license for February 14th, 2026, approval of Church of St. Mary's bingo license for March 2nd, 2026, and a recommendation to hire Kayla Parker, part-time EMR with the Arlington Area Ambulance pending successful backgrounding. You guys anything you want to
I
add?
just have one disclosure about Kayla. So she is the daughter of our interim manager, Brandy. However, Brandy was not included in any of the interview process. And I did run it by Ken because I just wanted to make sure we were following whatever we followed. And he said it was fine because she's just interim management. So as soon as she's done, everything's fine. So.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Meyer, second by Councilmember Whitman to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. All right, moving on, new business, street project update. Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Since the last council meeting, crews finished paving wear course on the work done last year. They just did that work today. I think that turned out pretty nice. The contractor's maintenance period is ended for turf restoration completed this year. I think for the most part it looks pretty good. There's a few areas of limited growth. We'll have to review those in the spring, see what they look like and address them if they're still not growing at that time. At the last council meeting, there was some discussion about contractor taking water up there by the fairgrounds. The contractor will need to submit their volume of water used for watering in order to be paid for watering. So we'll take that volume and then bill them accordingly for that water use. Some additional updates. I've been out reviewing items over the past few weeks like manholes, catch basins, curb stops, mailboxes, gate belts, things of that nature to verify they're of acceptable workmanship. Things that aren't have been added to a punch list, we call it, and that list, the contractor must complete all items on that list prior to final payment and final acceptance. So they've been out working on that list the last couple of weeks. We'll continue to work on that the next couple of weeks, try to get those items addressed, hopefully this fall for the most part, so we don't have too much left next spring. You may have noticed or seen that there is some minor cracking of some of the curb or driveways. We'll go through and do a walkthrough next spring to review all that. Anything that's of unacceptable condition will be removed and replaced at that time prior to the final wear course that'll happen for the rest of the project next year. So that's what I've got for updates. I guess if you guys have any questions or discussions, certainly would entertain that.
Talked to People Service, they must have corrected that manhole before they paved over it on the west side of Highway 5, right?
Correct.
Was there something with the casting or something?
Yeah, it was small as like a 2-inch casting, which is smaller than anything we would ever want. And it was too flat there, so I had to build a little bit of a crown in it first, and then they were able to pave the wear course.
And then my other question is, being that the turf is established now, I know they've removed a lot of them. Are they gonna remove the rest of the construction trash guards that they put on the catch basins?
Yeah, we'll certainly make sure that's done before freeze up. Yeah, I guess that
Yeah,
could.
that's
could
all
be-
that I asked.
Yes, certainly make sure. it
Because
gets done
otherwise it'll
before
make a
freeze up.
mess for city staff to try to
Right.
keep the catch basins open. I'm sure you gotta keep them on until the turf is all established.
Correct.
Have you checked into when they did water? Did they get you times and dates of when they actually did water?
I haven't received that from them yet.
Okay, I
Certainly,
would
I've heard
seriously
some
look into that because,
updates and I know it wasn't as much as we asked for.
no, I can, cause I know the time, they did spray my lawn. And you could tell when they sprayed it, all the grass was laying one way.
Mhm.
And there was only a handful of times that happened. And just looking around, you can take by the fairgrounds as your, the grass is not quite established at all on that. And if they were watering like they should have, that
Right.
grass would be more established.
Yeah, agreed, and I think that's something, we have specification that they were supposed to water a certain amount, they didn't do that, so if there's any rework, that's going to be their responsibility.
Well, as long as we got it in the minutes too, so if they debate it next spring.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to, because they didn't need to water mine, but it was part of it, so whatever they did, they did. But when they did water, you could always tell it was laying flat, so. But like I said, the fairgrounds is probably the best indicator of how much water actually got put down, because obviously the fairgrounds didn't water, and I know a lot of people watered just to get that grass established. Any other questions? Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so then we'll move on to the stormwater discussion, watershed agreement.
Me to start it? Yeah, I
Sure,
can-
kick
I
it
can-
off.
Yeah, I can start. So there's a farm field tile that drains into the city stormwater system at the intersection of Fourth Avenue and Henderson Road. We recently, staff became aware that there is no billing for any of the properties that are connected to that tile line. We reached out to Alan Kerber at the Watershed District, had a meeting with him a couple weeks ago. There was a project in 2017 to address some items downstream in that line. And I think at that time, there was some discussion about some potential billing happening for that line, maybe being billed directly to the Watershed District. And then the Watershed District would distribute it to the property owners. To this point, I don't believe any of that billing has occurred. Alan thought it was something the Watershed District would still be open to, and he recommended that staff attend a board meeting for the Watershed District later in November here to discuss what that billing would look like. I think based off the size of the watershed contributing, it's something that would fall into the 25 or greater TRE class for the stormwater billing. So there certainly would be some value to that based on the maintenance the city's performing in the downstream line. So that's I guess kind of what I've got for notes on that. I don't know, Jess, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, so I've invited Councilmember Meyer and Councilmember Reeds to attend the township meeting. They're on our utilities committee. We've gone back and forth, Eric and I, trying to determine what their fee should in fact be. I think there was talk back in the day, it was around $500 a year. However, since then, our stormwater fees had significantly increased, and we've talked about our 2026 fees schedule. That will be discussed later for council. So we've kind of loosely put together some numbers to propose to them. I think one question that we would like direction on is if we want to entertain back billing this fee, or if the city is comfortable just correcting the issue and moving forward. It's our understanding that the billing agreement was never written in the stormwater agreement between the watershed and the city. However, it was a verbal agreement, so nothing was ever executed. So we just want to be prepared when we go to this township meeting on what we want to ask for, if the city does want to try to recover or just start fresh and billing going forward. I think
So who was the verbal agreement with?
between the city and the
Watershed.
watershed district, yeah.
And is it in minutes anywhere, or is it just?
We could do some digging. The number back then was thrown around $500 a year. With our calculations, I think we're looking closer to, gotta look, maybe 1,600 a year now, but keep in mind that's how many properties roughly. I think 12 we had talked
Yeah, I
about.
think
So for 12 properties per year, $1,600. And I know the watershed had talked about that. They don't often pass along those fees until their fund balance reaches a certain point. So again, it's up to you guys. If you want to try to recover some of that, that's a lot of water going into our system that we maintain.
I think when I put that storm sewer in, it was oversized by like 40%, I think. It was supposed to pick up that 160.
Yeah, so there's, I guess I don't know the full story of the tile connection. I can speak of the 2017 project, and I think that was realigning it. It maybe used to go through some
Used to go
backyards.
through some backyards and they realigned and put it into that one.
Freedom.
Yep.
So I don't know for sure about the sign, but it's an 18-inch pipe. That's
I think the city was holding like $200,000 in assessment on that oversizing. But that's beyond the point at this point. Now it's time for us to start getting.
Right, and that was a shared expense, is our understanding, that the city paid a portion for that upgrade and the watershed paid their portion. But then it's the ongoing maintenance that we're trying to recover some of those fees for.
Much as I'd like to make it retroactive, I don't know that it would be overall fair because nothing's been set in stone, it's already been discussed at that point.
I say we just get it
Clean it
fixed
up.
and go from there.
Yeah.
Whatever the calculated appropriate fee would be.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll pursue that and have something for that meeting that you guys are going to come to.
And if it is whatever, $1,500-$1,600, that's pretty reasonable for 160 acres.
Right.
Right.
Drainage.
Yeah, it's more than that even. I kind of got a little figure here of what, so this yellow portion's 208 acres of what this is just kind of a delineated watershed here. This blue portion was already being built, but that's another 107 acres, so pretty substantial watershed here.
So the green portion is the part within our community where most people are already paying.
Correct, correct, yeah.
And this calculation is based on the recommended rate increases for 2026 too, so we're kind of getting ahead of our
So you won't have to throw
schedule.
another increase right away.
Correct.
I wasn't on the council at that time, but I think that the agreement was when they cut into our pipe, they transferred the old pipe that go behind the houses to us. And I think there's some problems in
I
there.
think
That's
that
why
line is mostly abandoned.
Yeah, there's catch basins back between Freedom and Elmwood. There's catch basins in the alleys that go in there. Plus there's catch basins on Elmwood that go south into the alley easement, tap into that pipe.
Okay.
But I think that pipe was in pretty bad shape, and I think they gave that to the city at the time they hooked into the new one. I can remember watching it on the TV.
That sounds similar to what Al's historical recollection, I think, was.
Yeah.
Should make that a motion and just go with
I think we just wanted some direction prior to this meeting. We still want them to reply to our request and then we'll bring final. I think the idea was to rewrite or amend the agreement, so we do have it in writing, and then that'll come back to the council once we have a chance to talk to the watershed.
Sounds good. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
All right. Item 8, Everest emergency vehicle bid. Jamie?
Good evening, council.
Hi.
Good evening.
Well, I have exciting news, but unfortunately I have terrible news. As you saw, we did get a final invoice from Everest. And when I got it, I called Ross, our representative from there, and I needed to have some clarification on that. And so he was kind enough to explain to me why the cost is what it is. Because I had lots of questions and I'd be more than happy to answer your guys' questions.
And I apologize, the way that came through in the council packet was not great. So the printed out version in your packet, it's a little easier to read for the cost breakdown.
Otherwise, I can briefly kind of go through it, kind of share what Ross shared with me about that. So when we take a look at the actual quote, this quote, let's see here, done in 2022. There's a denotation there. It says pricing and discount programs from outside suppliers may change. Any changes in pricing, suppliers, i.e. Ford, Stryker, will be assessed at the end for the user and purchaser. So when we compare that to the actual invoice that Ross sent to me here this last week, one of the biggest things that I questioned on here was this Ford GPC discount. Back when we had the initial quote for the truck, the Ford GPC discount was noted at $4,400. Now on this new invoice, it's $350. And I said, what happened? Why is there such a big difference? And he said, well, back in 2022, that was the estimated government discount. It's kind of like a rebate for the vehicle. He said that's changed. Obviously, it's much less than what it was. He said that does alter. And I kind of told him that was kind of a bummer. And then as the anti-theft, that was added to it too. That was not in the initial quote. And then with the anti-theft and the intermotive module, we had to have that because we had the power locks and the doors, which understandable. We want to be able to make sure our truck is secured. We do not want people taking our truck. And then down at the bottom there, you can see the subtotal and then the prepayment and the prepayment discount. So because we prepaid the $244,500, we were able to get a discount of $8,225. And then also to, just a note, because the Ford chassis increased, so initially they were gonna give us the 2022, 2023 chassis. Well, with the manufacturing delay and the rate of inflation, we got the cost of that, which was, again, I believe on here, $8,582 of the difference because it took 3 years to get the truck here. And that just kind of goes to show the rate of inflation. So currently the amount due on the truck is that $36,095.08. I had a very, very good conversation with him, and he basically said Everest doesn't adjust their quotes. He said it's the vendors that they contract with, i.e. Ford and Stryker and other vendors that they do business with. They have increased some prices with their things over the time. Yeah.
So my question is, we ordered it in 2022, but we're getting a 2024 chassis?
2025 chassis.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And why is that? Because they couldn't produce a chassis in 2022? Or?
Correct. If my mind serves me right, our truck actually didn't start to be manufactured until April of this year down in Georgia.
Okay.
And then I have good news. It is in Minnesota. I got to sit in it last week. Was so excited. I didn't want to get out. Last week I did bring the diesel truck up to Everest to be decommissioned because part of our quote was to transfer the power load system and the radios into the new truck to save us some money. That was going to be a substantial cost. So I brought that up there and was able to decommission the diesel truck. And they have everything. And today through Wednesday, the truck is getting the decals placed. And hopefully we can have it in our possession next week.
When you do that prepayment though, it doesn't lock all the prices in at that point?
Nope, because the initial quote, if you want, you can pass that around unless, did you guys get this?
We've got it
Yeah.
in
Okay.
here, and at
Yeah.
least we're not getting a 3-year-old truck.
Right.
Right.
So I was gonna say,
I get it.
for that price difference, that's not much for 3 years.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we're not getting a 3-year-old truck, I guess, it's just, it's
Right.
what it is, so, and I just, I appreciate you
So-
apologizing for it, but,
Well, we anticipated some sort of change. I didn't expect, nor at that time, I think the council didn't expect that change to be that significant. And
So the estimate was 275, we prepaid 245,500, so we got 4%. Did we get 4% interest on that? Is that what that's saying? So the difference between the 275 and the 244 is the interest that they gained off of our 244,000?
it was 307 days. Yep, so they credited us that dollar amount.
I just need some clarification because we only paid our portion. We have not considered any of the township
That is
portion in our
correct. We
prepayment. So,
only paid Arlington. the
so we
city of
only got the
Arlington.
interest on our portion.
Okay.
Correct.
We only prepaid our portion. So The remainder, we haven't received any contribution from the township yet. Is that correct, or do we have it?
Not allocated directly to the truck, but we
Okay.
have received contributions this last
Okay.
year from the townships
'Cause
that
I-
we would put towards that.
Okay, because I know initially
offset.
that it was budgeted for our portion, but then the townships were gonna contribute to it. So that's where that difference of the 36.95.
So we need a motion to pay the 36.9508.
Make a motion, we pay $36,095.08, the remaining balance due with the upgraded ambulance bill.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Reed, second by Councilmember Littleton to approve the, increased payment of 36,095.08 for the ambulance. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good things are coming.
All right, discussion on city parking lot.
I'm really sorry, these pictures are terrible.
Yeah, they are.
They're bad. I know.
They are bad, but.
Yeah, I was
That's-
trying to
that's
figure
why
that
we
out in
zoomed
the
in.
packet. I couldn't make no
Yeah.
sense on it.
I'm sorry.
Well, good evening, Mayor and Council. It sounds like Glenn sent a letter that you guys were.
Which I also
Yeah.
apologize, didn't make it to the packet, so you have it in your,
Yeah.
Brandon, you might want to give us a little more background.
That's okay. So, over the last few years, we have been having various issues with our city parking lots. Whether it be with vehicles that are being just abandoned in them. We've had other complaints with other lots, such as over by the Lidle Theater. And now we've been having we've had a recent complaint about the lot by, the West Main, 4th Avenue Northwest lot, but the apartments above it. So basically, we have nothing within ordinance right now that allows law enforcement or officials to really look into these more. We have signage on the lot by the Lidle Theater and on the West Main Street lot where the electronic sign is that says no overnight parking, no long-term parking, but we have nothing within ordinance to solidify that, so for enforcement reasons. So over this summer, we had 3 vehicles over in the lot that had been parked there for a significant period of time. Going off of our city ordinances, I was able to get in contact with them and have them moved or towed away from that lot as they were. One of them was considered an abandoned vehicle. The other 2, the owners were able to move it on their own. But with not having anything with an ordinance for it, we struggled with getting those off of that property. With people abandoning vehicles or leaving vehicles longer than a certain period of time, I mean, it's hard for us because not everyone transfers the title, so we don't know if they live in town, if it's still the person who does own the vehicle, we don't know who that is. So it can be a struggle for us. So with this, it would help us more or less enforce the ordinance, as well as it'd be more inclusive for the city to have policy in place for people who are bringing vehicles, trailers, whatever, to be in lots. Glenn had made a few notes in here about trailers. Other cities around the area, they have it in ordinance where you can't park a vehicle on a street in the same spot for longer than 24 hours. Otherwise, you get a ticket and or get towed. So that's just some areas around the county as well.
My question is, it says, motor vehicles shall be parked in any municipal parking facility. Does that include a street
So this is strictly for the lots,
for the parking
For the parking
lots,
lots, yeah.
not the street?
not the street.
Cause I know trailers that sit on a street for a week at a time and don't get moved
Yeah.
till the winter parking thing comes into effect. Yeah, I'm all in favor of this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that ain't big, that's all junk.
Yeah.
So, do we need to make a motion to make an
So
ordinance?
no, we'd have
Go through the
to,
ordinance
yeah, we'll
process.
go through the ordinance,
Yeah.
How would this affect the parking lot off of Third Avenue?
Is that the one that's, for Lidle Theater?
Yes.
So that's still a city parking lot, so it'd be the same thing over there as it would be for any other city parking
Is there,
lots.
and I know I've driven by there, but is there normally a lot of cars there in the evenings from, apartment units or
So,
across the street even?
It kind of varies, I feel like, I haven't been on working night shift in a while, so I really can't attest to the overnights. But there are a lot of similar vehicles there throughout the day, whether it be people from tenants or other businesses just parking there in general.
Gustafson's employees use that,
Okay,
which, you know, they wanted to add one in front of theirs, which Kirby and I looked into that and they can't. I mean, it's just, it's too tight. I mean, with that, you know,
Yeah.
Pamplon's driveway that got added in there, you just can't do it anymore.
of course, something like that, if you use this 24-hour rule, it's not an issue.
Exactly.
Gustafson's employees use it, or an apartment unit uses it, and he moves that car every 24 hours, and they don't have that kind of stuff there.
The problem is that there were two vehicles with flat tires that sat there for a month and didn't move, you know? And that's where the issue, that's where
That
this
would
is
just
all
take care
gonna,
of this.
yeah.
So,
The other thing is, preference with this is obviously for the one city parking lot we use for snow removal, if people need to move their vehicles. Obviously there could be, glad to talk about that as well within this, that if people need to move vehicles off the street for snow removal, that's one thing, but it's not gonna be a long-term thing until
Right,
that
right,
snow
yeah.
always be moved, so.
And just to clarify, the city owns that whole thing, so you can't say, well, I'm a tenant in here and park there. The city does own that whole.
From my understanding, yes.
Yep.
Let's do it.
So, yeah, write it up and get it approved.
Any other questions?
No,
What
Thanks,
about,
Brandon.
can I ask, what about the signage on there? I mean,
Is this in my understanding, this is that rental that we had talked about?
Mhm.
I think those were, I don't know if there's anything in writing. I know Ross had sent me something about a verbal council gave.
I think it was really just a gratuity that we did
Yeah,
to give those people some parking for their apartments, but there's
yeah.
nothing in writing, and
I
like
don't
the
think
mayor
so.
said, that's still our parking lot.
Right.
I think it was from back in the day, there was someone that had a very large work truck that couldn't be left on main, so they allocated those three, but I don't think that's.
And I think there was somebody that was semi-handicapped and
Yeah.
felt it necessary to have a
so
kid.
I think those signs should come down also.
So, well, if it's dedicated for those apartments, but that's not even,
That's not even close.
that's just
Right.
the whole, that's just not right.
I agree.
I don't know how else I'd say it.
I agree with you.
There is no nice way.
Because there's not, I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. Right. I mean, that's like leaving that in your front yard, and it would get, if it was in your front yard, it would get ticketed, and you'd be all over that.
So if the city council does decide that those two signs can stay in the building, this, last sentence in that second paragraph covers that no other variance to this ordinance is allowed unless otherwise authorized by the city council and our chief of police. Right?
Right.
It doesn't guarantee that they're gonna stay there, but there is an option.
Allowance to do it, yeah.
Okay.
Okey-dokey.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right. So item 10, well house paint quotes.
Oh, well, I thought I had Kirby up first. Well, you can come up here, Kirby, you've been working on this.
Sure.
Oh, shoot. Worse. So we've been working on this, I keep calling it a soft rehab to well house, 2, because we had discussed housing our electrical inventory, poles, everything we kind of have sporadically spread between the public workshop on the ground out there. So initially we had just planned to clean it out and put everything in there. Well, then we started thinking, why don't we just maybe stick a little bit of an investment in here, make it nice, clean it up, paint the walls, pour concrete. So we have our paint quotes in front of you guys. Kirby reached out to 3 different vendors. Pretty much all outlined in the memo provided, but it's my understanding that they can get this done yet this fall. Is that correct, Kirby?
Yeah, yes, and CertaPro was really aggressive. They sounded like they'd get at it pretty much right away. I know the concrete guys are waiting until they can't concrete anymore outside because it's heated in there, so they save this.
Yeah.
And it would line up right if we choose to paint it, you know, they can get in there and get it painted before concrete work is done, which would be nice.
You use them before, right?
We've used CertaPro here, yeah.
I thought so.
You're okay with it?
They're cheap, they get the job done. You know, maybe local, you might get a little better job done, I don't know, but they're all using pretty much the same kind of paint. You know, it's a wet, damp well house, so they have to use a special kind of paint.
The only people going in there is gonna be staff. It's really just to clean it up, make no more erosion.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ratty in there.
Yeah.
The pipes are starting to rust a little bit. So they put rust inhibitor type paint on it, on the pipes.
Okay,
And then just to clarify, I had planned to use, funds from the electrical department since we're trying to make this upgrade for that department.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys would choose to do this, yeah, it'd be great to stick local with one of those two, but you know, if you're looking for a recommendation from me, I'd go with CertaPro. I mean, that's a pretty big cost difference, in my opinion.
Yeah.
if it was closer, it'd be different.
Yeah, right.
So,
I'll make a motion that we do the soft rehabilitation of well house 2 with CertaPro painters for $7,747.61.
I'll second.
okay, motion by Councilmember Meyer, second by Councilmember Ling to, do a soft rehabilitation with CertaPro painters, $7,747.61. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right. Plow truck naming.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of levity once for us. Just like to welcome you guys to join in. I kind of took this to Jess as an idea that something that MnDOT you see does on the news, they name their plow trucks. I thought that'd be kind of a neat thing for us to do with our brand new plow truck. We had the idea to include the 6th graders.
Is it in?
It's in, yeah.
Like-
right
There
there.
it is.
We're ready to go.
Taylor Snow. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's order another one, maybe it'll never snow.
Right? So, yeah, 6th graders came up with some pretty good names in my opinion, and we thought we'd cap it off with you guys deciding.
Frosty the Snowplow.
Okay. Yeah, the names are, you got the names?
You wanna read them? Yeah.
Kind
Yeah,
of
they're
like
right here.
Mr.
They're in there,
McAuliffe.
yeah. I got a chuckle out of a few of them.
They're good.
It should have been Taylor Drift,
Yeah.
Taylor
I wanted
We
to,
have to do it.
Taylor Drift, rather than.
Do it.
Taylor Swift.
I don't know if we drive
Ready to
Taylor.
vote on this one?
Yeah.
I think my guys would get in.
Do you wanna read what's on the table?
Yeah, okay. So the choices would be Frosty the Snowplow, Austin Flowers, Mr. McPlowface, Frosty the Man-Child, or Taylor Snow.
I love these.
And if you guys want to take time and get back to Jess, you can. It's not that big, it's not that cool.
Not that big of a deal, but
Do a roll call.
thoughts? You wanna do a
That's
roll
Frosty
call?
the Snowplow. that's
Yeah, I
just
like
my-
Frosty the Snowplow.
Okay, well, that's 2 for Frosty the Snowplow.
Go for it, doesn't matter.
I'm good with it.
There it is.
Christina, you got another one, you can say
I
another.
like Mr. McPlowface.
I actually like Taylor Drift.
You would like to do that to us, wouldn't you?
Well, I have so many granddaughters that are
Oh, yeah,
are
Swifties, yeah.
drifties.
Just remember, you never make your snowplow driver mad at you because otherwise you're gonna have a ton of snow in your driveway. Yeah, swing that blade toward Matt's place. Don't worry about it. Just pile her in there.
Can't, I have too many trailers on this.
Well, we put it right in front of them, pile it all around. Okay? So that's Council Frosty the Snowplow, is that what we're going with?
Sure.
Works.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
I do have one thing,
Yes,
just noticing with all the curb work we did this year.
yes.
I don't know if you can mention to, Claire's to maybe kinda
We're gonna put cones out
take it easy.
take it
sporadically
easy on the, like in
this
this,
year.
so, I mean, as much as I like the work,
Yeah.
I'm sure
No,
French
no,
Lake,
we're gonna-
French Lake wasn't happy about going through and cutting all that
Yeah.
curb out, so we
Yep.
try to protect the investment.
Yep, And it was, I mean, that was discussed last year too, but maybe
Yeah.
one of the drivers forgot or whatever, but we're gonna put out cones actually on the curbs, you know, throughout.
Yeah, I know
Just
there was
to
a
remind them
lot of
that-
chips and a lot of.
Yeah.
So,
Usually they stay back far enough anyways.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll make
I know
a
they
big
do.
point out of
Our
it.
street,
Yeah.
it's like 3
Yep.
feet off the
Yeah.
curb.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
so,
I know they always did that on mine too, except last year, they got a foot into my
Yard.
yard
wow.
and rolled my yard up,
Oh,
Which-
I just.
which is okay, that had to be cut down anyway, it was this much too high, so.
you didn't have to do
I just
anything.
remember whoever, was out with the pink spray can, spraying every little crack, every little.
Yeah.
Chip that I just.
Yeah.
hope
Oh,
we
yeah.
can avoid
Yep,
that
we'll
for
do
next year.
everything we can to make sure it doesn't happen.
Thanks,
Thanks for-
Thank you.
Great.
Yep. Good night.
All right, item 12, transformer quote.
Yeah, so we need to purchase 2 power transformers. There's 2 quotes here. The first quote is just the single voltage. The second quote has the dual voltage that we have talked about in the past about long-term planning for our system. It's a little bit more for the dual, but again, pending our plans for the future, a lot of our new purchases have been dual voltage for that reason. This transformer is actually for the well house over by the water treatment plant. So right now that is not functioning. That is owned by another entity, not the city, so the plan would be to pass along the charge for that transformer. I need to discuss that with them, but either way, it's gonna need to happen. Just need your approval in order to be able to purchase these transformers due to the dollar amount.
Is that per transformer?
Yes.
So we wanna get both of them.
We're gonna buy, if you guys are all right to buy 2, so we have one on standby.
But actually, when you
It's
look,
common size,
you
yeah.
look at it, that's not a huge difference between the,
No,
no.
I would rather do the dual.
correct.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion to go with option 2 for the dual voltage.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Whitman, second by Councilmember Reeves to go with option 2 for dual voltage, purchase of transformers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, disposal of transformer costs.
Yeah, so this one is a little less fun, but we have a transformer that's been sitting at Jordan Transformer since 2021. I think we had sent it to them to possibly rebuild back then. However, what we understand is it's not a functional transformer and it's not able to be rebuilt. I'm kind of wondering if wasn't when we purchased the transformer out at the sub, if this wasn't another one that they were working on. Regardless, Jordan Transformer started to clean out their yard and they found this and it's ours and we need to get rid of it. So either we pay to coordinate to dispose of it or they do. Because of its size and weight, it's gonna cost $10,000 to get rid of it for Jordan. I talked to our engineer in Emerson and I think we'd probably spend equal to or more if we had to do all of the coordinating. So I just asked that we approve to get rid of that transformer appropriately.
And you're gonna have Jordan get rid of it?
Yeah,
So we're not
it's
gonna
there.
have to do anything.
We don't wanna move it twice. Let's just have them get rid of it.
Well, it's gotta be done, so I'll make a motion that, we pay $10,000 to Jordan Transformer to get rid of the, out of service transformer.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Matts, second by Councilmember Meyer to approve the disposal of the transformer for $10,000. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right. Item 14, community development coordinators / assistant city administrator.
This is a position that we've kind of tossed around. Historically, the city did have a full-time planning and zoning position allocated for. In recent years, we opted to contract that out to CETA. They come 2 days a week. However, during my time here, it's become apparent that we have a lot of work to do in our offices, and we could leverage those funds that are put forth for that contract for a full-time position that wouldn't only be specialized in planning and zoning. Their title would be a community development coordinator / assistant city administrator. And so I've had the Council of Governments help me put together a job description and rate that job class. That position is outlined in your packet. And I am requesting approval of the job description and to have authority to start the recruitment for this position. Like I said, we have a lot going on in the city, and rather than have someone 2 days a week doing a small position, it would make sense to have someone full-time who can really dedicate their time to the city, and help us execute our plans and do a great job for our citizens.
Bring in housing. Where are you going to
Where are
house
we gonna
them?
house them? That's a great question. We are looking at potentially extending our offices into room 3. Just squaring off a section out there and adding more office space. So I'm looking at what that's going to be costing and should have a quote to you guys in the near future, because yeah, currently there's not really great space for them to sit, but I think if we could start the recruitment, we would do something temporary until that's fulfilled. But some of the initial projects I'd love them to work on is our codification, and then you see in front of some of you have a copy of our comp plan. Our comp plan really needs an update. So aside from those 2 projects, we have a lot of other stuff going on.
That's even then, is, I know, like Phil went around and checked all the buildings, you know,
Yep.
like the
Yep.
simple ones, you know, it's basically they do it what they're supposed to sign off on that stuff. So
Correct.
There's a
Aside
lot.
from just our EDA in general, we have a very active EDA, and I think there could be more done even still, so. And then kind of having a backup for me and someone to help me. I focus a lot of my time on utilities, but there's many other things that we cover, so I would love to get a professional qualified person in here to assist.
What are we spending annually to CETA?
CETA right now is 55,000 per year. And that's for 2
For
days.
2 days a week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I read through this a couple times and I think you did a really good job on it, so I'll make a motion that we approve. How did you say that?
The job description.
Yeah, that we approve the job description for the Community Development Coordinator, Assistant City Administrator job position.
I'll second that.
All right, motion by Councilmember Meyer, second by Councilmember Ling to approve the Community Development Coordinator / City Administrator job description. All in favor, say aye.
Discussion, please.
Oh.
I got, one thing, and I don't think it's in here, just to cover us from, and I'm trying to be cautious. Another employee driving into town to be part of our workforce, I would like that it says something in here that, so they're not gonna be working remote.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea.
Would you be open to that being at the discretion of the city administrator? Because that's in our personnel.
Yeah, as long as it's documented, because when stuff isn't documented, and you get a year and a half down the line,
Yeah.
do it once and do it twice, and I know we can't put, living requirements on employees, but that is a very large concern of our community members, that we have people driving into town and
Yeah.
and they're not invested in the community. And then, secondly, and this is another tough one for me, because we've talked about it, and I'm not against this. I do feel we're putting the cart before the horse when we don't have a place for this person to work. And secondly, and you guys knew the first couple months with me, but some of my comments, it was a short 12 or 14 months ago when the city administrators said that she was all caught up, and somehow that affected the council meetings, like her workload has anything to do with the city council meetings. Now, 12 to 14 months later, we're swamped, and I realize we're not hiring another employee because we would be getting rid of CETA, but I just can't put it together that we can go from being all caught up and cutting council meetings to 12, 14 months later being swamped and need additional help. So it's for those couple things that,
I wouldn't call it swamp and needing additional help. We're filling a position that we had in the past. It's just the seat is not working out like it was planned.
Yeah.
So you're never gonna find a part-time person to do this
yeah,
job.
I know.
So
But we're,
we need somebody, cause if we got big electrical stuff, which is her specialty, we still wanna grow the community, so we need somebody with that specialty as well. And there's a lot of things that the previous planning and zoning people or planning and zoning coordinators did that aren't getting done right now, because right now, we had a lot of building permits, yet some of the smaller ones don't get inspected because Dave's not gonna run around and make sure that your fence is right and all this, but that's something that Phil used to do in the past. So it's not really, it's just basically the CETA thing in reality didn't quite work out. So this is just.
no, I
trying to bring
understand
somebody
that
along.
part. It's just that getting rid of CETA doesn't make this a wash position. It makes it a financial additional budget. It makes it an additional budget thing. And again, I think we're putting the cart before the horse, because I don't think we're gonna get a position like this and shove them in the corner here, or shove them in the corner of the office and have them be satisfied. And I realize we're looking at potentially adding on. But it's for those reasons that right now I can't support this, and that's.
The job description you can't support? That's what we're voting on, is the job description.
No,
Yeah, I did ask for recruitment, and I would just like to clarify, so the reason going down to one council meeting was not because I was caught up. It was actually because I was spending more time prepping for a meeting than actually doing it. So I am in fact swamped. I'm extremely overwhelmed. So that is why I started developing this job description, is because I do need help. And throughout the years, there's been many things that just don't get done. So in order to do a good job, I need to have adequate staffing to do a good job. So those are the reasons why I asked for this position and created this job description. And you are correct. I'm not only asking for approval of the job description, I'm asking approval for authority to recruit. So if you're not ready for the recruitment part,
That was the second one. I thought he only made one for the job description itself.
Okay.
I agree with
I just wanted
putting
to
it in there
clarify.
for not having remote, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Okay.
So I'll add that to the motion, that not be remote, okay?
So it's one motion here. It's.
Well, it was in my memo requested. You guys can motion however you.
Yeah, right now,
However you want.
he made the motion to approve the job description.
Right.
So, with the addition of the.
And I'll have to be careful of how that's worded. I think the idea is this person reports to the office during regular business hours, during core hours. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
I just don't want somebody from out our community
Yep.
working remotely. That does us absolutely no good.
Okay. So, all in favor
Of the job description?
of approval of job description with the changes, with the remote changes? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So job description passes. We still need to talk about recruitment.
If you guys aren't ready to recruit, I completely respect that decision, and you're right, I don't have a place for them to sit currently, and I've expressed the similar concerns that Councilmember Reitz, if we're gonna recruit for this level of a position, I can't just stick them in the corner, so, I just would like you guys to consider how we're gonna fill the void if we decide not to renew with CETA, which would be my recommendation on the next.
That's a month by month?
It is a 30-day out, and I've already kind of prefaced to them that it's not looking good for renewal because I've not been happy with their performance or their attendance. So I would just ask for guidance or ideas.
Well, how long, I mean, the recruitment process isn't gonna be an overnight thing.
No,
It's
it could
gonna
take
be-
a long
It's
time.
gonna be a long,
Probably be 6 to 8 weeks.
so you think you could find someone in 6 to 8 weeks?
That would be great if we could, but I would estimate, I would say 60 days for the recruitment, and then, to get somebody started could potentially be anywhere from 6 weeks to 90 days.
How long did it take us to find you?
I don't know.
We started that
2 months.
2-3 months.
Yeah.
About 3 hours.
Well, the idea of building some offices in room 3, like we
Yeah.
talked about that day. And you said you were getting quotes. Any idea how long they're gonna take? to get?
Honestly, Travis was just up here today talking about rough measurements, and so I
Okay.
have no idea on
Okay.
timeline. That's why, I think we can bridge the gap between, I just don't want to wait 6 months, if we have to wait until we have a better idea
Right.
of,
Can we
I don't know.
table it till next meeting and give
Certainly
us a
can.
chance to think about it and just put the brakes on for 30 days? Is that fair?
30 days is not gonna make or break. My goal was to start this first of the year. It was built into the budget for next year, so,
Yeah, my opinion is, and my vote is my opinion, my vote, it's not meant to influence.
Absolutely not, but I appreciate it. I mean, that.
Think it over. Feel free
I
to
feel we
reach out.
should start the recruitment process sooner than later. I mean,
just to recruit them, we have to schedule interviews, and I do want members of personnel and EDA on those interviews, so this is not gonna be as easy as recruiting an EMT or an EMR or even Public Works. This is gonna be a more lengthy search. We may not even get any qualified applicants, and I might have to reach out to another way to try to recruit.
Well,
I
that
have
was
no
my
idea.
thought, is this could be 3 to 4 months before you find a qualified person. I mean, that was my thought, so that's why I asked the question. how long.
This is more than it's not an entry level,
No,
salary.
correct.
So we're probably not gonna get a college intern. You can maybe get a college intern to apply, but it's whether they're gonna be qualified for the position.
Right, because the
Right.
qualifications are pretty stiff, I mean, so.
Yeah, we built the MQs to try to weed out any, it is not meant to be entry level. I mean, you either come to us with a college education or you come to us with municipal experience.
Right. And in the past, the turnaround on that one has been, they come in here and then they, after a year, they leave. They get their experience, they go to where they bigger and better things. So finding someone that's gonna be invested in this community and stick around may take a while.
And that's another reason for the full-time City of Arlington employee. We want somebody who's invested in the community, not
Invested in 4 communities.
correct.
Well, let's, like Jeff said, let's wait the 30 days before you start the recruiting or to think about, maybe them bids will come in for,
Mhm.
to make some more office space, because City Hall is too small, like, unbelievable.
Okay, so we'll bring that up at the next meeting.
Okay.
All right. Brings us up to 2026 CETA rates.
So I put their rates in here because they have not sent me a renewal document for 2026. Again, I have not been impressed. We've kind of used it to patch over. If I knew we were gonna recruit right away, I think I'd recommend a 30-day out right now. I think because we're waiting, it's worth keeping them on staff just to do the day-to-day basics until the end of the year. But with your blessing, I'll just let them know that as of December 31st, we will not be renewing.
I think that's fine. You need a motion.
Yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind.
Make a motion to
I'll
terminate.
make a motion to terminate CETA effective December 31st of 2025.
Second.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Litchfield, second by Councilmember Mass to terminate CETA at the end of December. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, request for emergency temporary shelter from Golden Hearts and Red Cross.
We received these actually almost in the same week. From what I can tell, we've done this before in the past. I wish I had more information to give you, but I think the Red Cross is really just the shelter or the survey. I don't even know that they're asking us to sign an agreement. I think they're just canvassing to see if we qualify, but it appears in the past we have. Golden Hearts, I mean, we are designated as a community shelter, so I don't know why we couldn't sign these for these
Right.
entities, if you guys are comfortable with it. It's meant to be temporary. We do have quite the space in the bathrooms and,
Fine.
Motion on that?
yes, please.
I'd make a motion that we approve the MOU temporary shelter for Golden Hearts and Red Cross for use of the, city center.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Reed, second by Councilmember Whitman to approve the, temporary shelter for Golden Hearts and the Red Cross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right. PFMLA is cost sharing.
We had briefly discussed this at our work session. Let me see, I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't think I have an agenda item actually in the packet, but,
Okay,
I don't have the dollars now.
no, not dollar amount, no.
So out of general fund, if we were to pay the full, cost of PFMLA, I think we're looking at about $6,000. It'd be my recommendation for council to allocate to do the 50-50 share with the employee, for tax reporting issues, specifically in administration of the program. If we were to pay the full 100%, that counts towards taxable income to the employee and just makes a complex reporting at the end of the year. So
We're
I
not
think,
relying on the W-2s.
yes, yeah. So it's simpler to just do the deduction on the paycheck and split the share 50-50. So I just need a motion for you guys so we can prepare our policies and get the notices done and have our employees sign, so that we're compliant with the new law.
I'll make a motion to go with the cost sharing for the PFMLA.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Lipton, second by Councilmember Reed to, go with, to approve cost sharing for PFLA. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right. Excuse me. A couple resolutions to go through here. We have Resolution 41-2025. This is a resolution granting Sibley Medical Center full use of the sludge wagon during emergency situations.
Need to discuss this at all? We kind of did already. All right, I'll introduce resolution 41-2025, a resolution granting Sibley Medical Center full use of the sludge wagon during an emergency situation.
I'll second
You gotta run it.
it. Yeah, you get a drive.
My favorite.
All right, resolution 41-2025, introduced by Councilmember Matt, second by Councilmember Ling. This is a resolution granting Sibley Medical Center full use of sludge wagon during emergency situations. Vote by roll call. Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitman,
Yes.
Councilmember Matts,
Yes.
Councilmember Meyer,
Yes.
and Councilmember Ling.
Yes.
5 in favor, none against, the resolution passes.
Why did they used to call it a honey wagon? Because it's anything but honey in there.
Because the bees follow it.
Well.
The bees follow it, that's why.
Is that why?
Because it's a pot of gold.
Stays in there long enough, it turns to honey.
All right, resolution 42-2025, this is a resolution accepting a donation of $25 from Peace Lutheran Church to be used for the Arlington area ambulance.
I'll introduce resolution 42-2025, accepting a donation of $25 from Peace Lutheran to the Arlington area ambulance.
I'll second.
All right, resolution 42-2025, introduced by Councilmember Ling, second by Councilmember Meyer. This is a resolution accepting a donation of $25 from Peace Lutheran Church going to the Arlington ambulance. Vote by roll call again. Councilmember Matts,
Yes.
Councilmember Reed,
Yes.
Councilmember Ling,
Yes.
Councilmember Lippman,
Yes.
and Councilmember Meyer.
Yes.
5 in favor, none against, the resolution passes. And we got resolution 43-2025. This is another resolution accepting a donation of $25 from Peace Lutheran Church to be used for the fire department.
I'll introduce resolution 43-2025. Of the donation of $25 from Peace Lutheran Church to be used for the Arlington Fire Department.
I'll second. Oh, you got it.
You got it? Okay. Resolution 43-2025, introduced by Councilmember Litfin, second by Councilmember Reeds. This is a resolution accepting a donation of $25 from Peace Lutheran Church to be used for the Arlington Fire Department. And we'll go over roll call. Councilmember Meyer.
Yes.
Councilmember Litfin.
Yes.
Councilmember Reeds.
Yes.
Councilmember Ling.
Yes.
And Councilmember Matts.
Yes.
5 in favor, none against. Resolution passes. All right. Item 21, old business, vegetation management, tree work quotes.
We had tabled this from last month because we didn't have the quotes in quite yet. We received the quotes and then I didn't have these maps until this morning, but the highlighted areas on the two maps that were provided are the streets where we're gonna be doing the tree work. So the recommendation is to go with Tree Story at $11,770 for the highlighted areas. And if you guys have driven down any of these spots, you can see how bad the tree growth is, specifically out by our substation. All of that vegetation under the line is gonna be sawed down to out on Highway 5.
I think Emerson said this is still on the high voltage primary lines too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we hire Tree Story at $11,770 to do our vegetation removal work on the maps included.
I'll second.
all right, motion by Councilmember Meyer, second by Councilmember Litfin to go with Tree Story, the amount of $11,770 for vegetation management on the map. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. And then that'll just be an ongoing every year. We'll probably do a different section. Stay on top of it.
All right, reports. Our attorney is not here tonight. City Administrator, Jessica, do you have anything?
Well, before some of you guys is a copy of our comprehensive plan, Councilmember Litfin and Lang and Matt, you guys got yours at EDA. I just put that before you. We've reached out to the Minnesota Valley Council of Governments. Under our contract, we can have them kind of do a freshen without any extra fees. So we're gonna have our planning and zoning committee kind of spearhead going through this. Pending the recruitment that we talked about earlier, that will be a project for 2026, but I think it's a good document to have and reference as we make our decisions. The paid family medical leave and no tax on overtime, we have scheduled a staff training for November 25th at 10 a.m. to go over the new laws and have them sign our new forms. You guys are more than welcome to attend. I would just ask if you plan to attend to let me know so if we happen to have a quorum I can post. We're in the middle of our revenue requirement study for electric. Should be hearing back from that soon. We did kick off our ABDO process improvement project as well. We're going to be doing staff interviews starting November 16th. We talked about the watershed meetings. We continue to work on locating
What's the date of that watershed meeting?
November 24th. I think I sent you a meeting request. It's Monday night at 7. And it'll be at New Auburn City Hall.
Yeah.
Still looking for a backup sub for the backup transformer for the sub. I'm working on the fee schedules for 2026, so I hope to have that to you guys early enough that we can do our 2 readings and have it implemented.
Is that transformer in North or South Dakota? I can't remember.
It's not gonna fit.
Oh.
We thought it was. I got really excited one morning. Yeah, it's not gonna fit.
What's a new one cost? Just
A
guess.
lot. Well, the used one was $1 million or more.
That's the easy part to swallow. It's the weight that's hard to swallow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the weight, exactly.
Yeah.
What were those, Betty bought 2 of them. What were they? The portable ones?
Oh, the portable
Oh,
one?
portable ones
Don't
were
even
over
try
10
to get it.
million.
Yeah,
Bought
see,
4
that's
of them.
Don't even try
yeah.
to get one of those. Yeah.
I know, so it's like,
So we're still on the hunt. We'll just continue to look.
oh, that was
Say your
too
prayers at
bad.
night. Yeah. Our pay equity is due in 2026, so I'll start working on that. Gave you the comp plan, so, and we talked about the additional office space, so that's all I have for you guys right now.
Okay, any questions? All right, rest of the reports, the event center update in your packet. Police department reports, people service reports, any questions on any of those, reports?
I'm sorry, I had one other thing in my update that I wanted to ask you guys. I know these packets get extremely long. I know a lot of the information is very important for decision making. I just wanted to ask the maintenance report from People Service. Do you guys want to continue to have that in your packet? I can have that reviewed by our utilities committee meeting. And then, okay. And then the bills, I know I have the summary and the detail. Would you just like the summary? And then if there's anything, we can provide detail just to shorten these packets so it's not
Yeah,
That was
pages and pages of stuff that you don't really.
you
need
look
to.
through it every time, you're like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I like the stuff on there, but when it comes to like this, it's the highlight.
The meat of it,
the
yeah,
meat of it
but I
is
can even
perfect.
shorten the PDF by taking the
Okay.
maintenance and the detail out.
Alright.
You'll get the summaries.
I would still require them to submit it to you, so you know
Yes.
they're
Yep.
doing
Yeah,
it,
I'll
but
still
yeah,
get
we
it.
don't need to see that.
Yes, okay,
but pictures you could add as a separate attachment so that you don't have the explosion.
that
of the-
weird,
Yeah,
okay,
I think it would be, I think it would eliminate that.
okay,
Okay,
noted. Thank you.
all right, any council member updates? Committee updates?
So you'll kind of have an estimate then for us to take along with yourself to that New Auburn meeting?
Yeah, I'll put together something so
Okay.
you guys have the background, yes.
So like EDA, did we bring up the land that we're kind of been looking at or?
Yeah, I'll have an update for you guys at the meeting. I have a call with an attorney tomorrow to talk about how to approach that.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I have.
Well, yeah, council member updates.
Yes.
I wasn't sure
Progressing out
what's-
here at Sokolti the way they want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure does.
Safe update.
Yeah.
Doug in there pouring concrete.
All right,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
She was first.
all right, well, before that, just reminders here quick, November 17th EDA, and then after that, we'll have our budget workshop again. The 20th is planning and zoning, and December 1st will be our truth and taxation and our council meeting at 6:30. So motion by Councilmember Wing, second by Councilmember Liston to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:37. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
I'm gonna go to work.